We'll call the meeting to order.
Those are people left in us, so these are the ones you want to look at.
For the record, Pam Miller is appearing by phone, and the other four members of the commission are present. First item of business, approval of the minutes of the February 5 meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is public input. Do we have anybody in the chamber that would like to testify or make any comment today? The old business, presentation, approval of the commission's summary report and official ballot of 2010, including ballot addendum for city council. Has everyone had a chance to look at those documents? Is there any discussion regarding those? I guess we need a motion to...
Mr. Chairman.
What's that?
This is an old English teacher. I'm wondering, Amendment B, Part 4, the second line, moving out of the district within 30 days of their appointment. Should it be his or her appointment instead of the plural their?
Yeah, we can certainly make that change. We can certainly make that change. I didn't do it here because that was the proposal that was passed, but you could certainly.
I just noticed it
Yeah.
now when I was reading it, and it isn't a big deal.
What is, are we going to leave it as is, or what's your wish?
It's fine with me. Yeah.
Huh? We can? Yeah. Well, you want to make that motion?
I will. I move that we change the word "their" to "his" or "her" in Amendment B, Section 4, second line.
All right. A second to that motion?
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Is Pam hearing us?
Pam, did you hear that?
Well, I heard most of it. There's something about changing the word "there" to "his" or "her."
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
How was your, the motion was made and seconded. We didn't hear your vote.
Yes.
Yes,
Aye.
thank you.
I guess we could make the same change in the city attorney's explanation below.
Till I forgot to continue.
Have his or her home residence, the third
sure.
line down.
Yes, I see that.
Okay. Point well taken, I guess. Going to make that motion? Or you want to include that in...
I'll include it in the first one, if my seconder will
Yes,
agree to that. Thank
I
you.
do.
Thank you. Thanks for spotting that.
Okay. Pam, what we're doing now is, in the city attorney's explanation, we're also making the same change.
Okay.
So, any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Is there any other old business that anyone wants to bring up? Yeah.
I realize that I just want to make sure the differences between the language that was handed out this morning and what was emailed on Friday night about 6:30 or so, is that just the underscores and the overstrucks that are deleted in the ballot language, or were there other changes?
No, there are I don't know, I suppose 3 or 4 changes. One of them was to make gender neutral in the city attorney's explanation of Amendment A. It used to say, clarifies that the mayor will determine the appropriate form of his budget.
I spotted that one, too.
Fix
you.
that.
Glad you changed it.
Trying to remember if, chairperson was 2 words on the previous version, chairperson.
Hey,
So.
Dick, could you check the connection again? I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Can you
A
hear
little
that?
better.
All right.
It wasn't not as good as it was before.
Well, I was just saying that the changes from Friday to Saturday were very minor. I think there were probably 4, maybe 5, and the major substantive one was to make the city attorney's explanation in Amendment A gender neutral about the mayor's budget. Then I think we also combined the word chairperson from 2 words to 1 word. I think there was a comma deleted or a couple of commas deleted in the explanations, but otherwise that's basically it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any other old business anyone wants to bring up? If not, we'll move to new business. The only item we have on the agenda for that is establish future meeting date if necessary. I don't know if there's anything, I don't think we have any reason to call another meeting, do we, at this point?
Mr. Chairman, do we need to approve the commission summary report?
And I think you can do that all together, the summary report as well as the ballots as they currently sit. I think you do that in one motion.
Okay.
Pam, did you hear that?
No.
Well, we also have to include in the approval motion our summary report.
Okay.
Well, what do we want to do, just amend that? Can you go ahead and amend that to?
Yeah, we'll consider it as the ballot has now been amended with those couple of changes.
Okay, does anyone else have anything to bring up at this time?
Someone is presenting that at City Council tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, Pam, we all nominated you.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I think, Lon, you're going to be here, right?
I thought Bill volunteered to do it.
Was it Bill? Okay.
The word volunteered escapes me. I said I would do it. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for doing that.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, it was you or I guess.
I do have a question. I understand that tonight the City Council will be voting on their proposal about reducing the number of signatures, and I assume that will pass. So when that appears on the ballot, will that be indicated that that was brought by the City Council rather than by the Charter Revision Commission?
And in trying to think ahead to that point, that's why I put in the explanations that are currently there that, I don't know, if you're an English teacher, I don't know what I did. When I set that off, as you look at each amendment, it says, the proposed change as approved and submitted by the Charter Revision Commission. And what we will do with theirs is, as approved and submitted by the City Council.
Okay.
That will be the
That would
differentiating
be,
factor.
okay. That's good. Yeah.
So you can really come up with some strange scenarios with the ability of both to.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we started, I didn't realize this. Was that?
I think the council's limit to amend the charter is somewhat limited compared to the Charter Revision Commission. There are a number of prohibitions about areas and articles that they could not amend. So
But-
it's a very narrow. It's narrower. It's much narrower than the latitude granted to you.
Are most of those dealing with financial matters that they're prohibited?
It's a number of them. There's probably 5 or 7 provisions. I read through them about a month ago. They make sense. I mean, obviously, you don't want to have the council enlarging their scope of power. And the same token, it would be, you never want to have, it's supposed to be a checks and balance system. So if you diminish the role of one side of government, you obviously expand the role of the other. And so you always want to make sure you have a good solid, make them co-equal, and have good checks and balances. Otherwise, you don't have a good democracy. So those limits placed upon them are pretty broad in terms of, they cannot enlarge their scope of power. Pardon me, they cannot diminish the mayors as well. So there's some balance there that's drafted in there. I thought it was even some extra kind of provisions in law. It's actually in the charter, but it is. I thought it was balanced when I read through it, to tell you the truth. I thought it made some sense to have those prohibitions there. And I work for the council, so. I did have a question, though, if I could, on a different related note. This is not calendared for tonight's agenda because it wasn't submitted by the city attorney's office, and so it's not on the agenda for tonight. However, you can always walk it in, if you will, after the fact, but there's been no notice to the public that it will be on tonight's agenda, in part because that document is administered from the city attorney's office, and it just hasn't, you aren't done, you haven't voted on it yet, so it wasn't possible to calendar it yet.
Okay.
But I'm not sure how you want to do that. Just to let you know, you'll be walking it in tonight on the city council agenda.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Deb. Well, if there's no further business, I'd like to state that this has been very enjoyable, working with staff and with the commission. And
Mr. Chair, I still think
Yeah.
you're waiting for a motion on the
Motion.
ballot and the report. You haven't had you talked about it, but you haven't had the motion or vote.
all right.
Move
Well, thank-
approval of the ballot as presented in the summary report.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I
Okay. Now, are we in order, Sean?
There you go. I think you're in order now.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, it's been enjoyable. Thanks to everybody, their help. And, maybe if we can find a reason,
We can get together.
we may get together, and it doesn't cost the city any money.
That's right.
That's right.
I don't think we're paid, are we?
I was thinking on the way down here, and it's so cold, Pam, you don't know what you're missing. If it weren't for the pay, I would not be so willing to do this job.
I think the next commission should have their pay doubled from ours.
Yeah, I think so too.
Or we could get, like the council, we could get 15% of the mayor's salary.
Oh, yes. I bet we'd meet a lot then.
Could we get that added to tonight's agenda?
All right, well, thank you, everybody, and
Thank you, Dick.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
and please, for the next council, the commission, get this speaker system fixed.
Need a motion or a second to adjourn.
thanks, everybody.
Okay, yeah. All right, and now I guess we'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.